Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is Catherine, the Big Vision Coach, and this is the weekly virtual commanding well circle. And let me pin my video here. And it's a little different angle because I'm reorganizing the trailer. I've just brought in the next layer of stuff to sort out, and I'm going to be transparent. My clothes bar broke, and right now it looks like a bomb went off at the Goodwill. And I've got a lot of things I'm trying to get sorted away and get put away. The last little bit, and this is the most uncomfortable part. This is because I kind of have that ADHD, and I have to have not necessarily someone help me do the work, but I need that kind of person present so that they can kind of be that mirror for me. And my daughter's going to come over later, and we're going to get this all sorted out. But right now, it feels too much. Okay, so last week, there's some folks that are here that weren't here last week. We've got some folks that could not be with us this week because they've got some meetings and some other commitments going on. But last week we were cut short because of a technical issue. But the thing that I was talking about was this realization that, you know, we talk about this in the one command about that greater intelligence, right? And we hear that, and sometimes we have that experience of that, like there's this like greater wisdom that we're in communication with. And back in the days when I was first starting out, I remember it was a very powerful feeling because it felt like it was me, but it was more than me, but it was more than what I knew. And there was a lot of information that would come in, a lot of abilities like healing abilities, word of wisdom. Suddenly I might have a knowing, or I might suddenly understand how to do something mechanically, or I'd get an idea to do something and there would be something inside of me that would like propel me forward, right? Or I'd have a random thought, and next thing you know, it would be manifested. Like I'd have this thought and I would imagine someone saying something, and then later that day they would say those exact words. And so that's that greater intelligence. And we've been connecting in with that. And we always connect in with that when we do the 6 steps to the one command, because we're detaching from our ordinary awareness, right? But like Einstein said, reality is an illusion, a persistent illusion, but it is still an illusion, just the same, to paraphrase him. So it's really hard because our brain is set up not to project into the future and live from the future. Our brain is set up through, you know, our survival to remember, right, and to create habits, and then we become the creatures of the habits. And that's why when we really start to understand that we're in this habit of self, our habit of our identity, like Joe Dispenza talks about, that we get wired up that way, but then this sets up our expectancies and our sense of possibility, our worthiness, what we think that we can receive. And, you know, we talk about all this all the time. But what is kind of triggering this thought and this living from greatness, I was watching an interview, and I'm trying to find where it was, but someone said, how do you really change your life? And Joe Dispenza said something that seems simple, but it's very powerful. And he said, simple, write down who you want to be and the kind of life that you want to live, and then start living as if you're living that life, right? Start doing the things that match up to that vision. Okay. And that sounds really easy. You go, that's great. But in that future life, I have divine health and a rocking body. And right now my health is not so hot, and the body more rolls than rocks, right? Or you go, yeah, this rich life. And but right now I've got telephone, you know, the bill collectors are calling, or yeah, I could do anything I wanted if I only knew what it was, right? And that just really stuck with me. And I said, it's the greater part of you that's expressing through your desire, but it's also expressing through your frustration. It's expressing perfectly through your sense of limitation. You are in an awareness of the disconnect. Okay. And very often, pardon me, very often we get in an argument about the disconnect, about why it is, whose fault it is, why it can't change, why it has to change, what's stopping us from changing. But we really don't understand that message, when we are in that new awareness of, hey, there's an incongruency, and pardon my purple hands here, got my purple hair today. We're in this awareness. We think, well, we have to be realistic. We got to tell the truth. But which is the truth? Your circumstances, which are created based on your beliefs of the past, or that greater part of you that tells you that there's something more available to you, and that there is everything you need is available to you to accomplish it if you only choose it. If you make that decision. I watched a little clip of Diana Ross, like way back in the days in the 70s. And they said, how did what do you really think the secret of your success is? And she had those big, beautiful eyes. I mean, she still does, just what an amazing talent. And she said, when I want something, there's two voices. When I see something I want, or I decide I want something, there's that first voice that says yes. And then there's always that second one that says no. And I made the decision to never listen to that voice that tells me no. She accepted the fact that there's going to be a negative limiting belief. She didn't try to work through it. I'm sure with her history and growing up, she had plenty of trauma and things that she had to confront within herself. But where she put her attention was to what she desired, and she kept aligning back to that. And this is what I want to talk about today. Just briefly. This is up. I have been wanting to do workshops. Has not been the timing. I'm pretty excited because now it's kind of like, yeah, the pieces are coming together. So there's one more piece, right? Like sometimes we know we want something different. We have an inkling about what's possible, right? How do we know? One, our desire. Two, we see it out in the world. We go, there's that person kind of looks like my age, my experience. They got different results. Or, hey, there's someone who's older or younger or, not as experienced, not as accomplished, yet they're getting more of the things you want, right? And there might be jealousy. There might be some chagrin. There might be a little shame. And we can get frustrated, and that's where allowing ourselves to be in the awareness of our feelings, the awareness of our circumstances. So let's say you're comparing yourself to someone else, right? Which is very human. And hey, that envy is a very powerful tool because it's a way that your unconscious mind's communicating with you that, hey, there's something that you want that you might not have known you wanted, that there's something that you're capable of that maybe you weren't aware of or accepting, right? And so that's where that awareness, like, hey, my awareness of my frustration is not frustrated. Remember those, doing that? My awareness of being stuck or feeling stuck is not stuck. My awareness of being in lack or feeling lack is not in lack. And what is that awareness? Well, that's like the doorway to your greater intelligence. That awareness is how we're having that communication. And if you want to, one of the ways I love that this got described was, if you haven't seen this for a while, I would say watch it again, is What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, where he's in that wonderful scene with Cuba Gooding Jr. And Cuba is explaining, well, you're not your body, you're not your brain, you're your awareness, right? You're your awareness. And at the same time, if we've never seen anything or known how to be aware, right? We don't know how to describe it or what to look for. Like, how can we know what we don't know, right? Oh, like, so a lot of times it does start with language. I wanted to share a little video with you that I found on YouTube, and it's called Why the Ancient Greeks Couldn't See Blue. And I wanted to put this link in the chat, but I can't get to there. Hang on, let me escape out of screen share just a second, and then I'll come over here and grab this link. And this is fascinating, because what he says here is that the ancient Greeks, if you think about Greece, right? And the flag is blue, the cities, I mean, Greece is known for, it's like the beautiful azure sea and the colors of the rooftops and everything. And they literally could not see the color blue. And it's because of how language developed. And the first colors that they could identify was red, because of, like, blood. And then they showed that through all the different cultures, the awareness of different colors and the gradient of colors developed pretty much in the same order. And to be able to see the color blue was the very last one to get developed. And if you think about it, like blue sky, blue water, there's blue in nature, right? But for our hunting and everything, we developed the ability to see different levels of green. And then later, we could do things like differentiate between red and pink and orange, which are all very similar. And it had to do with our hunting food and flowers and being able to identify poisonous berries and that type of thing. Same thing with shades of green and everything else. Used to be that when someone would say, what color is the sky, they would say it was either a dark black or a light black. Isn't that crazy? And later, as the people were able to start to identify that and differentiate, it's created new neural transmitters and responders, and shifted up our reticular activating system. New cones were created in the eyes, and the more experience we have with certain colors and our experience, the more we can differentiate and fine tune, right? So the reason I'm sharing this with you is, just like it's a progression to understand, to be able to get to this color blue, it's a progression to get into this greater understanding of living from your own greater intelligence, and how to allow that and to be in a new level of awareness. Where the one command comes in with this is, when we disconnect from our story by going up to the 6 steps, and we lower our brainwave, and we're disconnecting from our neurology that's connecting to all the memories and the habits and the emotions, then we are expanding our possibility, and we are directing our mind into a new level of awareness. Okay, so if there is a result that you want to get in your life, if there's a way you want to experience your life, if there's a level of freedom that you want to have that you're not experiencing, and the way that you want it is because you're uncomfortable, and the time that you are The way that you know that it's the time, pardon me, the way that you know that it's the time to make the changes, your discomfort and frustration are increasing. It's actually good news, because we only change when we start getting uncomfortable. That's just the way it is. And that's the greater part of yourself giving you the signal that you're ready for that next level. And Asara says this, and sometimes it's kind of hard to trust in it. But the other way that you know that you're ready for the next level is a lot of the things that were your safety net, that were how you were managing things and doing things, start kind of dissolving around you. So an example would be like back when my daughter was, Maddie was still a baby and she was getting assistance, but Maddie had kind of hit that magical age where the assistance was starting to end, like the ADFC and things that just really made life much easier. And Lauren was kind of freaked out. And Asara said, well, this means you're ready for the next level. She said, well, I don't know what's going to change. And what changed was someone offered her a job at a higher rate of pay. It just was like such an easy transition. She had to allow herself to not know how this was the sign that her next success, her next, she was ready for the next level. And whatever it is that you're experiencing that's not working, it feels like it's dissolving, it feels like, hey, the rug's kind of getting pulled out, the things I was counting on before aren't going to be there. I want to invite you to say, wow, I didn't know I was ready until now. I didn't know I was able until now. I only know I am ready and able right now to take the next step into this next level. I mean, we can't know that, right? And so if you start feeling nervous about money or opportunities or what's happening with the supply chain and all the stuff that we're hearing, there's a part of you that knows how to flow through this. And I'm going to do commands today about living, moving, and breathing from this greater capacity or greater self. And then we'll do a quick check-in, because all of us are about to go to this next level. And there's incredible opportunities. And there's also an aspect of yourself that you always kind of suspected was there. And it's not based in the past. It's not getting back to the old version of yourself, but it's stepping into that greater, more magnificent version of yourself that is able to access all those skills, those resources, build those relationships, and create and recreate from this higher level of intelligence. Okay, so we're not going back to anywhere. We're all moving forward. Okay, and you're going to get to reclaim your power, reclaim your blessings, reclaim your cash, reclaim your gifts. Whatever you feel like you've lost, you can do that too, but it has to start with you being in your authority. Is this making sense? I know we just kind of launched in and a lot of folks didn't get to hear from last week, but is this making sense what we're talking about? Does this feel like something that would be, is kind of like what is up for you right now? Let's see here. Am I, okay, good. I am unmuted. Yep, all sounding good. All right. So I'm gonna just, yep, sounding good. I'm gonna check in with you guys too. But first I wanna do this creating from your greater state. Now, let me come back to sharing. This light is right in my eye. Okay. All right. This is, I will email this out when I email you the recording today. and I'll put it in the members area. This is borrowed from Tiny Life, but this is the like Wheel of Life exercise. Have you seen that? You've seen one of these before. And you actually want to have 2 of these. And what this is when you're thinking about your life right now, like how would you rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10 is what you do. And you rate these from 1 to 10, like what's working, what's not working. So like friendships, I'm just gonna do a quick walkthrough. And here's why I'm gonna do this is because part of being able to make a change is you have to have an awareness. Okay. So if I were, looking at this and I think about where I am now and where I want to be, right? It helps to go, well, right now, how would I rate my life? And I'd say friendships. It's like, I have some really deep connections, but I'm not having the social interactions and kind of like that, just girlfriend time. I really miss that time with a companion, friends my age. I love my family. I love my grandkids, but you know what? There's just something about sitting around with the girls, right? And so I would say, right now, I'm going to put that at a 6. And then I could say family, man, I'm at 10. I just am so happy about this. Hobbies, just now getting back into hobbies. I'm starting some writing. That's a 8. Health, honestly, I'm running along about a 4. Love relationships, that's a 2 because I don't have anybody right now. Family, like I said, 10. Friendships, what did I say before, like a 6. And creative, 9, right? No, actually I got a correction, that's a 7, right? So I just want to just kind of assess that and just take a minute and just think about it for you. Okay, let me see if I can put this in the chat. I will send this to you. Okay. But I just want to walk you through this. But just kind of like pick out one area right now. Just pick out one. Don't have to go through the whole thing. And if you want to have more money, you could put money on here or work, right? Like, hey, work is not where I want it to be. So you could even add another column of money. But just pick out one right now, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to think about the future version of yourself, right? There's a version of yourself that says, I'm capable of making more money. I know I'm capable of making more money because 1, I've made it before. 2, I have the desire. 3, I have the need. 4, I see money everywhere. If they're making money, I can make money, but I don't know where I'm missing it. But there is a future part of me. There's a part of me that knows exactly, 1, what the holdup is, and 2, what to do. It knows what I need. It knows what I need. But if you were as that future self, creating and generating money through work that you love and care about, or however it comes to you, right? If you had all the money that you needed and it was no longer a concern, it doesn't have to be $10 billion either. Okay. What would that look like? How would your life be different? And just tune into that. Breathe in. No explanations to yourself, no stories. Allow whatever comes up. If money were not an issue, what would be different? And then you could go back through this same wheel of life and you go, Well, one, health would very likely not be an issue because, well, actually, I'm so lucky. I got like this incredible, like the best health insurance in the world, and everything's like popping like it never did before. And I can't even tell you how amazing it is. But everything's falling together. But there'd be a flow of freedom and confidence in doing things, right? And making plans because you'd be healthy and strong enough, right? Um, hey, what about your creativity? If you had plenty of money, would you be able to hire more people to help you execute some of your ideas? Would you be able to, get that office or that software, the creative team to make stuff happen? Hey, if money just were not an issue, would you have more time to be with your friends? Would you feel like, yeah, I don't have to worry about work right now. I'm just going to make sure I take off and I spend that quality time with the people that fill me up? What would be different in your family? What would your love life look like? What would your work life be? What would you be doing for fun or for your growth? And just think about that for a minute. Think about it for a minute. And it might kind of like blip away. It might feel blank, right? But you have some clues. You have, well, yeah, there's that, but I don't know, there's that, right? Like, you've heard me talk about my favorite game is winning the lottery. And I realized, I used to agonize over, do I buy a house? Do I rent it? And I'm like, I never have to worry about that. I really love living in I really love hotel suites. I really love Airbnbs. I really love being able to just go from location to location, right? I don't have to commit to anything. I don't have to make that decision now. When the moment comes, I'll be able to make that decision. I was trying to work out all this stuff ahead of time. But once you allow yourself to start getting those clues and then being present to it and allow yourself coming into that new awareness, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start having new language, new words, new thoughts, new feelings. And then from this greater awareness, your neurology starts to shift, just like in this being able to identify the color blue. And then the action steps, everything starts flowing from that. Okay. All right. So, all right, here, just a second. So we're just going to align for just a second here. Let me do this. All right. So I want to just invite you for a moment to just come back to the present, to here and now. And just think about your life as it is right now. And what are you grateful for in your life? Is it your friends or your family? Or, hey, do you have good health? Do you have people that love you and support you? Do you get to do interesting things? Do you live in a beautiful place? What are you grateful for? And just come into that awareness of the good that's in your life right now. And just say thank you. And think about what you appreciate, which is a little different than what you're grateful for. It's like, there are people that go above and beyond. Like, I just appreciate how you guys show up every week. Like, wow, that's huge for me that you would take time out and spend that with me. And for us to just come to these spaces together. I just so appreciate your commitment. And this state of being, of being thankful and being appreciation. This is what we want to create from. This is how we want to receive. And just come into that awareness of appreciation and gratitude. And now you also have another awareness. And this awareness kind of wakes you up. It talks to you, it nags at you, it tickles you, it plays with you, it inspires you. But it's this awareness that there's a greater part of you that wants to express through you. And from that expression, there's more freedom, there's flow, there's abundance, there's love, there's your divine health, there's opportunities. And between knowing and not knowing how to live from that greater awareness, that greater self, that greater intelligence, let there only be love. There's no judgment about why you're not there or, or why you're here now or what happened or what has to happen. Let there only be love. This is how we live in the higher dimensions. When they talk about 5D, this is it right here. And I just want to invite you to roll your eyes up and picture, visualize, or imagine that you're traveling up a pole of light. And the higher you go, the faster you go. And soon you find yourself surrounded by that beautiful, velvety black void in space. And in the distance, you see a teeny pinpoint of light. Head towards that. And as you break through the darkness into the light of pure, open potential, just allow yourself to expand into this greater place. Allow yourself free of this teeny little body and that little bitty mind and those limiting circumstances to unfurl, expand, get as big as you truly are. And here's the command, eyes up. I don't know how I live, move, and breathe from my greater intelligence. I only know I am now and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I am creating exactly the circumstances, exactly the life, exactly the wealth, exactly the health, exactly the freedom I want, need, desire, and deserve. I only know the power is within me now, and I release it. And I am fulfilled. Just let that go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater. And I don't know how I have a greater awareness. I don't know how I have the right words. I don't know how there's a whole new language and nuance and understanding. I only know as I am aware of this new awareness, I grow and expand into a greater state of being that I ever knew possible. I only know that's so now, and I am fulfilled. And your eyes can be relaxed. And I don't know how. I call back my power. I call back my power from the past. I call back my power from the people I gave it away to, that stole it, that manipulated me, that I didn't even know was mine, that was rightfully mine. I call back my power now. I don't know how. I stand in the truth of my authority and the authority of my words. I only know that my word is law. And when I speak it, it is manifested now. And I only know it's so now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how all the money that I denied myself, the opportunities, the whatever got stolen that was denied to me because of my beliefs and programs and self-identity, for many oaths, curses, or vows. I only know that I call back the wealth and abundance that is rightfully mine now, and I am fulfilled. And just let all that go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. Let that go, let it go. Unwind, 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 unwind. Rewind, rewind, rewind. When you're ready, open your eyes. Now, tune back into that wheel of life that we were looking at before. And when you think about what you thought about before, being in that new state of being, and we thought maybe money, or like Tana needs to look, is looking for a place to live. And if you were already living there, what would life look like, right? Joanna's calling forth her ideal clients, high ticket, big money clients. Okay, so is actually Layden is, and Richard's calling forth the right partners, right? And so we're all calling that forth. Living from that state of being in your greater self, having already manifested everything from your power, what does life look like? And you have to kind of state it in the now, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm living in an awesome place. I decided to give up my little apartment, and I moved into a lovely home that gives me the room that I obviously want and need. Or I moved to another city. I got my RV, like Layden's wanting his RV. What's different? But then here's the next one, guys. You can go, hey, what's different? And then you start filling that in. And remember, Joe Dispenza said, think about who you want to be and what your life looks like, right? And that's what we're talking about. But here's the other thing. What is your new awareness of your life right now? I know. I know. So that's what we're talking about. Let me see if I can get out of this. I can't find there we go. The meeting controls are not cooperating. There we go. That's what I want. What's different? So what do you think? Was that helpful? I would love to get your feedback on this. And do me a favor, raise your hand or hit the chat. Let's see. Does anybody have any feedback or questions or want to share their ahas or their awareness? Here we go. Yeah, thank you, Emily. I appreciate you too. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. I'll get this recording to you as soon as possible. Okay. Let's do a quick check-in. I cannot get to my clock on here. I'm gonna go ahead and check in first with Joanna since you're kind of showing at the top of my screen, and then I'll go to Emily.
Hey there.
Hey.
Thank you. I wasn't into that at first with the wheel and the whole thing, but as you began talking, I kind of just closed my eyes and went with it. So it was nice. I probably will go back and get the recording for the last part of that.
Yeah. And the wheel, you know, you and I, we've seen that wheel 10,000 times, right?
Mhm.
And we go, oh, this again. But no one really talks about how to use it in comparison. Yeah, comparison. I always make up words. And how to like create the contrast is really what we're doing. And so, yeah, I'll make sure that the recording goes out in that copy of the Wheel of Life. Okay.
Good.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miss Emily. And then I'll go to Tana.
Hello. I'm trying to get the video. Hold on a second. Okay, for some reason the video is not working, so you don't want to see me today anyway. I'm actually in a rather dark room because I didn't have my Wi-Fi outside. My computer was dying, so I had to come into a little living area. But anyway, real quick, everything's going wonderful. I just moved into a new little Airbnb yesterday for at least a couple of weeks, but it could go longer. It's really a precious place, and my friends from California are staying here as well, so that's great. And I just thought I would just give you a quick little story. The other morning, okay, I was staying at another little hotel. It was very luxurious, but it was becoming cost prohibitive. But
Yeah.
anyway, they would bring me a continental breakfast with fruit and bread in the mornings.
Yeah.
So I just woke up like last Thursday morning. I woke up and I'm like thinking about my fruit plate. And I'm going, I wish they'd put some vegetables on that plate. And I specifically was jonesing for some cucumber. haven't even talked about a cucumber in a year,
Yeah.
or even thought about it. But I had this like cucumber jones, and and I was kind of half dreaming. So when I got up, lo and behold, they bought the plate. It had a sliced cucumber on it. Now I've been staying there two weeks. No, haven't even seen a cucumber down here. And I just was jonesing for veggies. So, okay, so then I had the dream about the cucumber.
Yeah.
Then I got the cucumber on the plate. And then we went somewhere and they said, have you tried their cucumber tea or their cucumber water? And it's like cucumbers came up 3 times
That's amazing.
within as many hours. It's just like manifesting something so simple. I mean, if you can manifest a cucumber, you can manifest $1 million. I mean, it's just that, so it was just a very simple, but very noticeable lesson. And I think we all find that those things happening to us,
Yeah. Where we just,
so
you
that
just
was,
accept, it's like, yeah, I want that. Like the idea came in and go, yeah, that would be great. I want that. And
right
so,
then.
yeah. And then just kind of like let go of it, massage it, go, yes. And then just let it go, had no judgment. You didn't have any belief.
Yeah, there was no, I mean, I just was like, it was like a surprise. It was a fleeting thought. And then he opens the thing up and there's a sliced cucumber on the plate. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I mean, it was just, it's so simple. It's that simple. So,
So
I
yeah,
am just,
like, so you could go, I don't know how manifesting $1 million is as easy as manifesting a cucumber.
no, right.
Yeah.
Now we can just, I'm manifesting now for a partner. I think it's time for me to, I've met quite a number of people, but I think that partner's also going to be.
You wanna, that's a little awareness you had, and you go, hey, it's like cucumbers. When I
Yes.
think about it and I say, yes, it happened. A relationship has popped up. You said, yeah, I want it. So I know it's going to come as easy as that.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be
That's how,
nice.
no.
No,
Not I
it
hope so.
is.
It would be nice. No, that's cutting your power when you say,
No, I don't know how
like,
I have the
yeah, it's,
perfect relationship.
yeah, say it's true. Like, you know what? It's like that. That's the way it's going to be.
Yes,
And so that it would be nice is you that giving room for that doubt. Okay.
right on.
There's no doubt.
There is no doubt. I'll
All
be
right.
telling you about him soon enough.
Oh, yeah, you will. And find out if he's got a nice tall friend.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Thanks.
Love you, girl.
Love you. Hello, Miss Tana, and then we'll go to Louisa and then Cassandra.
Hello, ladies. Seems we're all just us right
Yes,
now.
just us today. How's your arm doing?
I had surgery a a week ago Monday, and I feels like the healing process is going. But then again, I felt that before they determined that I needed surgery because it wasn't going the right way. So this is new territory for me. And yeah, I'm having I'm having a bit of a hard time with after a few minor surgeries over the past few years, I think it's like the anesthesia or whatever they gave me to kill pain. And I just find it ironic. They, in my collarbone area, they gave me a pain block and then like a week later, it still hurts really bad. So it was supposed to block the pain, but it still hurts and bruise and stuff. But I think I'm on the mend. I think I'm on the mend. Sometimes my wrist feels almost normal in my cast.
Okay.
So I'm a bit preoccupied. I'm in a really bad place today. I want to I don't know. Have I ever been in a really good place when I've been here? I'm not sure, but
So you have, and you're looking for your place because you got to be out by the end of the month, and it's coming along pretty quickly, right?
right. And so I'm very grateful that all but one of the 6 planets that were retrograde at the time that Mercury went retrograde 3.5 weeks ago are direct now. So I'll take every little bit of celestial help I can get. And I know it's there. I know it's there in spirit, the right place for me, the right people. Whether I'm living behind the same front door with them, or they're just in the neighborhood or in my apartment building or whatever, I know it's there. One thing I have, and I've looked at 7 different places so far. None of them have manifested as the place, but each time I was aware of something else that I needed to be very clear about. Like I could be in the perfect place, but if somebody was cooking fish, like frying fish every other day, I could not live with that. And it makes me sick. So, just little things like that. And so it's there in spirit, and I'm getting a little panicky. I'm 12 days away. Even if my now ex gave me another month, it probably wouldn't matter. Actually, it's I need to get out of here and into my new thing. The one thing I didn't put down that I realized today is on this long note on my phone, in the note section, is with grace and ease and delight. That's what I love. I love my magic. And so, I love to be able to recount a good story and relive that and give other people hope and inspiration too. So, yeah.
You know what? You could sign up for house sitting jobs and put your stuff in storage, right? And until you give yourself time, there's I just feel like there's some kind of opportunities there.
Yeah.
But the right opportunity come along, and when it's the right place, it'll happen right in the right timing. And you're on the job, you're doing it, you are doing everything you're supposed to do and stay in good communication with your ex. But just see yourself, kind of like when we're stretching out that time and collapsing it, hold that vision of yourself in your apartment on November 1st.
That's where I'm having trouble. I'm panicking at this point.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say this. Okay. Tana is panicking. Tana's going to panic. Tana's going to do everything in her power to panic until she no longer needs to panic. Take a breath. . And if I tune into what Tana needs is to trust. So Tana is, oh no, to feel powerful, that you have the power in this situation. That's it. So Tana is powerful. Tana's going to be powerful. Tana's going to do everything within her power and means to operate from that sense of empowerment. And she'll do this and more until she absolutely remembers and knows herself as one who is powerful. Breathe into that. Okay, remember that. Remember, like this is, we're going to close that loop.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
You feel your brain relax a little bit?
Just a little. It's been
That's all you need. We're just going to give you an inch and then let that mile, and then take that mile. Okay. Just be with it. Be present. You're doing everything you're supposed to right now. Okay. Okay. And we're holding the space for you. We're witnessing that for you.
Thank you, lady.
All right, honey. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I've got to move on. Are you okay?
Yes, thanks. I had already muted myself.
Okay. All righty. Miss Louisa.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful Louisa. How are you
Hi. My
doing?
video's not. I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Look at your hair. Oh, look at your hair. That's adorable. We haven't
Yeah, I
seen
can't see my.
we haven't seen your new color.
Yeah. Well, I get bored.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fine. I'm really sleepy today, so sorry if I sound a bit groggy. But I am fine, and yeah, it feels like everything is moving in the right direction. I've been out seeing friends more recently, which has been really nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm kind of chugging along, doing okay. Yeah, I feel like I still kind of feel like I'm kind of lacking in time and energy a little bit, but the balance is shifting, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of still chugging away at the work I've been doing for a long time, the translation work, but I'm kind of slowly transitioning into
Okay.
more interesting things.
So do you feel like you're making progress?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And so that's a big one. And last week you said the money pressure's starting to release a bit, alleviate.
yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, I mean, keep moving forward and then that'll give you breathing room. I'm happy to hear that you're visiting friends and it's a gorgeous time of year. It hasn't turned rainy yet, has it?
Oh, well, do you know, we've had an amazing few weeks. It's been really dry and sunny and lovely, but it changed kind of, well, this week, basically. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's relatively warm still. It's good. It's nice.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the outdoors. For some reason, it's like I had this prompt for you. It's like get outside, make sure you're getting that fresh air, getting out of your head, moving around. So,
Yeah.
all right, my dear. It's always good to see you. And that really, your hair is lovely, and I'm digging that green wall too. So, all right, thank you. And Miss Cassandra, how are you doing? Of course, she's at work. I always know when she gets off of work. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on now. And
I
that's
wandered away from my phone
okay.
again. And I thought, okay, make sure you take your phone when you walk into the next room.
Yeah. How are you doing? And how's Dandelion doing?
Dandy's doing well. I had somebody email who's local and seems to be legitimate last night asking questions about her.
Okay,
Hopefully she'll sell,
okay.
but we'll see. I've had a lot of scams.
I know, it's kind of,
It's amazing.
I know. But Dandelion's in a beautiful home. She's in a beautiful place and people who love her. And yeah, I see that little girl. There's a little girl calling her.
That's what I always feel. There's some
Yeah.
little girl who wants her.
Yeah, she's calling her. It's making it happen. She's dreaming about her. Yeah, it's so close. So, okay. Well, wonderful.
And but my house hunting is not going well. And I've been in a slump. But I keep telling myself the perfect house will come in the perfect time.
Well, and you're in a health transition right now. So you're having to build back up into stasis and get your energy up. So once that happens, then your manifestation will start to happen. But be trying that today. It's like, okay, if I were the version of myself living in that house, I wonder what my memory would be. I wonder how I found the house, right? And start kind of backwards engineer from that. Okay. But
Okay,
keep putting yourself in your house. Okay.
will do.
All right. Well, I just love y'all and appreciate y'all so much. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up today. And I'm going to just bust through here so I can get to the right slide. Hey, I've got some workshops coming up and I actually put it on the calendar and I've got a team that I'm working with. I'm very excited. So keep an eye out for the next workshop. It's going to be like a little 3-night thing, like 3 little calls, and it's only going to be $7. So y'all keep an eye out for that. Okay. So until next time, my guys, I love you very much. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye all.